Greetings, welcome to Donnatella Computer College, where expertise meet demand. Donnatella College, accessible, convenient and affordable learning. For more information, visit our website via the link provided in the description box down below. Or directly call, text and WhatsApp us via 079-910-4086. Remember also to subscribe, like and share our YouTube channel. Will take 5 seconds to subscribe before forgetting. Our services include business data analytics training, accounting packages training and software installations. Feel free to reach us on the above matters. January intake is currently in progress. Please consider enrolling with us to pursue your dreams in this current world of technology.
Okay, hope you are doing fine. So today we will be looking at December 2023, question 22. So I'll just read the question. So Safari Limited is evaluating a project with the following details: initial investment, residual value, project year 1, project cash flow, the annual cash flow growth rate from year, I think 1, let me just widen that, from year 2, then the project life is 5 years, required, compute the following project metrics. So required, compute the following project metrics: the payback period, net present value, assume that the discount rate is 12, and the profitability index, assume that the discount rate is 12% also. Then part B, using a graph, determine the project's internal rate of return. And you can see the question is 30 marks, and these are just basic concepts from the previous levels. So I'd like, maybe before we begin on the question, maybe I'd like to bring to your attention that the January intake is on, so you can liaise with me via the number provided there, and then you will get the best of the best, because you are the best in the industry, the unmatched one. So we are the best. You are the best in offering data analytics. With us, you are guaranteed success. So we will begin the question. So before we begin again, I like also to bring to your attention that you must also, you see, if you consider these values provided, so it has a string value and also a numeric value. So Excel won't recognize this. For example, if you just take this value, you multiply by, let's say, 2, isn't it? It will give you an error value because this one is not a value. So first thing off, you must change these ones to values. So this one is 100,000. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then this one is 10 million. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then this one is 25. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then for the percent, it is good. Then this one is 5 years. Although that one will not be using the 5 years one. So I select this one, then I do a 1000 separator so that I know I've written the correct values. For instance, here now, if you take this one, you multiply by 2, it will give you a value, meaning this one is also a value. So these cash flows that we've been given, they are growing. So mainly, for project evaluation, we necessitate that you start from year 0, tab, then year 1, year 2, that way. So maybe I select them, then 3, 4, 5. For the 5 years that you are having. Here I'll put them in the middle so that the alignment is correct. Also bolden them because some are not bold. So maybe I can also put a border there, Alt HBH for thick bottom border, that way. Then you see the initial investment will always come in here, 0. I'll just copy it, no need to repeat it. So initial investment, So it comes in as a negative, so I'll take this value here. Then the residual value is recovered at the end of the project. So again, I'll just take the value there. So in year 5, it comes in as a positive, isn't it? Then so that is the residual value. It is correct. Then so you see, we didn't have working capital and the rest, isn't it? We have only the project cash flows. So maybe here I'll introduce another sheet, control shift plus another column, sorry. So project cash flows. So what you must also consider is that the project cash flow will only start in year 1, isn't it? And this is the amount. So then you are being told that it will be growing from year 2 at 10%. So equal sign. You take this value here, you multiply by, you open your bracket 1 plus the growth rate. While the growth rate you are looking at is F4. Then you close your brackets, you hit enter. So the thing is, it is just that you have to drag. So it will be growing. That is what you must consider. Then so this one let's call it the cash flow so that we don't call it the project cash flow. So that here, this is what we call the project cash flows. So here is just a matter of adding. So this one will be just this value, while this one will be this value here. Then I'll drag up to the last year. But remember, the last year will be plus the salvage or the residual value. Then I'll do Alt HBU. So these ones are the project cash flow. Maybe I can look this one in a box. Alt HBT. So that you see we already have the project cash flows. Then we go to required payback period, the first one, isn't it? So maybe I can just write here the payback period. So remember, payback period, this is just the amount of time it is taken to recover the cost, isn't it? The amount taken to recover the cost. So you must have a cumulative value, isn't it? So here, equal sign, I take this one plus the cash flows in year 2. So remember, these are cumulative values. I drag. So just from the essence, I can see that our project is mainly at year 3, isn't it? But year 3 is not complete. So what is the remainder? So I'll write here remainder maybe. Equal sign, I'll start with a negative, or I can just also take the project cash flow minus this one. So this is the value that is remaining. So for payback period, you just count 1, 2, 3, isn't it? So 3, and then the remainder will do it plus, isn't it? So like here, the period here will be equal this one divided by the cost, isn't it? Then here it is 3. So payback period, control C, maybe, I don't know, maybe somewhere here, control V, equal sign, it will be this one plus this one, isn't it? I remember this one is in years, isn't it? I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to do editing. So with a 1000 separator, that is the payback period. So that's how we work on the payback period. Then the next thing was the net present value, assuming a discount rate of 12%. So here, net present value. So the net present value, we just use the NPV. So NPV, then we press tab. You'll be asked the rate of which is 12%, comma, then values. Remember here, values you start from year 1, not 0. So you select them this way, then you close your bracket, then you add the cost. So this one's control board. Something like that. Then the other one was the profitability index. So here, profitability index. So remember, before we do that, the profitability index is always the sum of the present values divided by the cost. And I have also been given the discount rate, isn't it? We've also been given the discount rate, isn't it? So the present values of the project, I can just put them here so that we make them into present values before we find the profitability index. So present values here, there will be equal sign. Of course, the year 0, it will be just year 0, but we'll just start with it. So it is always, you take the amount there, you multiply by, you open your bracket, 1 plus the discount rate, which is 12%. You close your bracket, power negative. So that is the power negative n, which is the amount of years here. So I'll put it as that one. So for the first year, it will be the same amount because you can't find the present value of year 0, isn't it? But the rest, the amounts will be changing, isn't it? So they have been discounted to present values. Then I said for profitability index, it is the sum of present values. So sum, I press tab. So these are the present values. Don't take the cost, isn't it? You close your brackets, divide by the cost, isn't it? So the cost here, you make it positive. And that is the profitability index, isn't it? So here the comment is always accept if it is more than 1. Also here accept if it is more than 0. The other one doesn't have, isn't it? So maybe I can move these marks here, maybe somewhere, Control X, Control V, so that I'll carry this later on. So it is always advised that after you've done, you select everything, Control X, then you put them below here, Control V, isn't it? I also remove Control X, Control V, mean that these answers are seen properly, isn't it? You can also decide to put a color there, never like this one, isn't it? Like that one there. It will be very illustrating to show where the answer is. Then we go to part B. So using a graph, determine the project's internal rate of return. So remember here the thing is using a graph. So what you must remember, at IRR, NPV equals to 0. So this is the base that we are using. So at IRR, NPV equals to 0, isn't it? While using our NPV up here, we found that it was a positive value and it was 12%, isn't it? So it means at 12%, we are still having a positive value. So we must increase them. So we will start by 12%. then 13%. So you're just going to see, maybe we can go up to maybe 18%. Up to there, 18%, isn't it? So we all know that you can decide also to repeat the NPV function, isn't it? So these ones will be the discount rates. Discount rate. While here, this one will be the net present value. So I'll just repeat equal sign. We use NPV. We press tab. So the rate is, so I'll be selecting this one because I want to drag down, so I never lock it, comma. So the values, remember you take the project cash flows, isn't it, from year one? And you do a F on them so that they don't change. You close your brackets. You add the initial cost, isn't it? Means that this value here will be the same value here. Control bold to golden. Then I'll just have to drag down because I've used F4 and the rest. So let me see what is happening. I think so I think there is something we never locked, of which is the cost, isn't it? You can see in this one was never locked. So we never want it to change. So I'll just do F4 there. Then I press enter. Then I drag. You can see from 16 there to 17, it went to negative. So it means that our IRR is somewhere there. But now they wanted a graph, isn't it? So I just select this data here. Then I go to insert. Then I go to recommended charts. So it will be loading. Then maybe, okay, I want maybe something like a line chart. Isn't it a line chart like this one here? It's very good for us, isn't it? So 0, 5, 10. Let me see all charts. Then I go to line chart. Yes, I want this one here. I click OK. The chart will appear, isn't it? So let me see if I can, the grid lines are on, isn't it? So it is just, I don't know, let me see. I don't want the data labels, isn't it? So basically, I'll just change maybe the chart color. Then I'll illustrate. Basically, you see where the line is crossing at 0. Remember, this is the 0 line, isn't it? Where we have this value, because from here it has gone to negative. Where it is crossing at 0, you can see it is almost to 17, but it has not reached 17, somewhere here, isn't it? And basically, if you just see, it is above 16.5, isn't it? So maybe IRR will be 16.7%, something like that, isn't it? And then again, also you can just confirm by using the formula IRR. Then you press tab, then you pick in the values. So you take everything, the project cash flow, you take everything there, then you hit enter. You can see it is something 17. So maybe I'll, you see, it is just somewhere there, isn't it? So use it. So remember this one we have just used a graph, isn't it? So let me do this and see. But our graph is perfect. I don't know. I don't see any problem. Maybe let me see if I remove grid line, you can see now the line where it is crossing the only one line. And that's how you could have earned your 30 marks with a very simple concept, isn't it? I think for today we will stop there. This is just to tell you that our classes are beginning on 5th. So I'll urge that maybe you enroll with us as we guarantee success. We teach what is examinable, we teach the concept required, and we are just the best in the market. You can just try and see. We are the best in the market. Overall, we are having, like in the August, we were the leading. We led by having more students. Like we had 67 students, that is August. For December, the exams have not yet been released. So for August, we had 67 students and we managed 75% pass, isn't it? So all 75% of 67 students managed to get a pass. So I'll request maybe if you are dealing with business data analytics, isn't it? This is the right place to be. Liaise with me. You can WhatsApp me via 0799 10 40 86, and you'll never regret this move, isn't it? You'll pass business data analytics just as easy as that, as we never leave anything out. So we'll wind up there and see you in the next semester.